All right, we are live. Finally back for the final session. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, students. I hope you all are doing great. So we are in the final session where we will be covering few basics of Git and some advanced commands, and we will also look into the GitHub today, and we will learn more about it. Yes. Good evening, all of you. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, and I'll start the screen share. Let me know if it is visible. All right, perfect. So just give me a minute. I need to just check about my charger. Yes, things are fine. So yesterday my laptop's charger got ruined and I am still facing that problem, but somehow I've did some local fix. I've tried to make sure that the laptop works at least a little bit and it is working fine as per that. So luckily we will not have any issues, mostly not for today's session, and we will resume learning on that. Okay, so I'll just quickly recap things to you, right? That what we have been doing. So we have looked into the basic of Git, which is like what are the different Git operations, like initializing, Git init, Git clone, Git status, git add, git commit, git log, these things, right? Which is like basic git operations. We have seen how to configure a git, like to set up our username, set up our email, right? Apart from that, we also dived deeper to get idea about things like branches and merging them, right? Like in order to create a git branch, and the idea is very simple, right? We just need to write. Okay, just let me take up a pen. Just need to write git branch. Okay, and we will just have to do a dash b in front of it to make a branch, or we can just simply say that, okay, that create a branch by the name of branch name. So branch name will help us get it done, right? So these are the few basic things that we have done, and if we have to switch between branches, even that part is sorted. We know like how can it be done. We just have to do git checkout. So checkout is the command which will help us move between the branches, right? So suppose if I'm on a branch A and I want to go to branch B, as simple as that. So git uh, checkout, uh, the branch name where you want to go, right? So for example, if we say branch name mention over here, and we will go to that branch, right? And then we can do git status on it, whatever we want to do. Like say I want to get the status of this branch. Okay, I want to suppose edit some files. I will use nano as the editor, nano file name. Okay, and whatever is the extension dot extension. Suppose I want to edit some Python files, I will do like file dot py could be the name of the file. Any whatever is the name of the file, it could be that, right? As simple as that. So I'll just mention the file name, I'll mention the extension, and I'll just simply start developing it, editing it. Once I've edited that, next thing would be I'll have to do git add all the modifications. I'll add whatever I want. Then I'm in the staging area. I can now use git stash over here. If I want to remove things, I'll do git stash. If I have added things by mistake, or if all thing is good, I'll proceed with git commit, right? So git commit will help me make the commit right over here, right? Once I've done that, I'll just do git push origin remote, which if I have to push to the server, I'll just do git push. If I am pushing to the main branch, by default it will understand that the origin is remote. Okay, so that understanding can be developed if you're working with the master branch. So these are few basic things of the git. Then I told you that there could be some issues. Let us try to understand about that in merging, right? What are those issues? So suppose if this is the main branch, right? So main branch consists of say some files, out of which there is say file one .py. This is a Python file which contains, right? So I have taken a clone of it. I've taken a clone and I've created my own branch. Okay, and I've created a branch by the name of dev Gaurav. Okay, so I have a branch by the name of dev Gaurav, and I have a branch by the name of main. Okay, so main branch से मैंने copy किया है. This is the copy from the main branch. Now in the dev core, what I'm doing is I am modifying file one. ठीक है, file one dot py I am modifying it. ठीक है. So modify, we are doing it, and once you have modified, I want to go back and push it. Okay, I have to do git push. So let us understand where can error happen or problems can arise. So suppose we took this clone on say 1st April, okay, which is the April Fool's Day. So on that day we have taken the clone. On the 2nd April, what has happened is that other developers who were working directly in the main branch, they have modified this code. Okay, file1.py has some own modifications which are there in this main branch itself now. So क्या हो रहा है, like the file that I have taken in my branch is now actually been modified. वहां पर कुछ और पड़ा है rather than what I had taken, right? So in this case, if I am raising git merge request over here, चलो मैं git merge करने जा रहा हूँ, git merge. So वो process में there will be some errors, right? Let us try to understand what those errors will be. So I'll just quickly, for also your revision, I'll just walk you through the process. क्या होगा, like what will be the process through which you will reach that point. So step one will be okay, let me just use this ink. Step one will be you will do git add. Okay, so you will be adding all the files over here. Step two would be you will do git status is not a mandatory step, but you can always check what is the status. Staging area check कर सकते हो, कुछ stash करना है, वापस whatever you have to do can still be happen. You will do git commit, right? You will do git commit, you will do that. If you have to push to the server, you can also do that. Git push command. The only thing that the git push is doing over here is okay, whatever is there in the in this local system is getting pushed to some other system, right? That could be a server. After this, you will have to do git checkout. So in which branch do you plan to merge this repository or this branch, right? So let us say I want to merge it in the main, so I'll do git checkout master or main, what is the branch name. Okay, so if I go to the master branch, the next step right over here is that I will have to do git merge. And what is the branch that I'm planning to merge is say dev Gaurav. Okay, so now here is the point where I will see that there is a conflict that has arisen. Okay, there will be a conflict which has arisen at this point, and that is known as merge conflict. Now remember why this error will occur is because when I took the clone, I created a branch. I created a branch out of the master branch, and when I did that, what is happening is someone before I was merging has modified the same piece of file that I was supposed to merge. Okay, so let me try to explain you what the error can look like. Okay, I'll also add a little bit of to make it real life. Okay, apart from file one, I've also created file2.py. So see, file2.py has nothing to do क्योंकि वो कभी भी master branch में था ही नहीं. This file was never there in the master branch, right? File 2. Hence, Git will have no problem merging that because it says that I can merge whatever is new, but I cannot merge the content which is new, but it also has some more updates which are not with you, right? So let us understand this merge conflict. This is very easy. Okay, let us understand the psychology of Git first. What Git is trying to say you is that you are bringing in some new content, that is fine, I'm willing to take the new content, but if I take your new content, I am losing some content which you do not have, but some other person has given me and it is also new and it is in the same file. So first you solve this problem manually. Okay, it will throw you an error, and let us look at that error. What it will be, it will say you, it will raise a merge conflict, and so let us say this is our window, and over here there will be merge conflict. Okay, merge conflict, and the issue would be that first of all Git will show you files. Okay, so Git will show you file 2.py, which is I'm adding this tick, but the Git will not show you this tick, right? It will show you the files which have merge conflict files. It will show you as file1.py. So Git will exactly tell you that where is the merge conflict happening. So if the merge conflict is happening on some files, file 1, then you will have to manually check between both the branches that what is wrong, right? Here you can use different tools like diffchecker.com is one of it, or Git itself has the tool to check, right? You can check the differences between these two files, what is not there. And which is where I would like to add that as a good developer, as a good Git user, it is a very good habit to always take frequent pulls and pushes to maintain the update, right? So usually we all have a habit of not using save button a lot, right? Suppose when we are editing, theek hai. Karthik has some question. Let me look into it. Sir, how can we upload our projects into Git? That is something that we will learn today, Karthik. Okay. So apart from that, any other question I've missed? No. All right. So coming back, so I was discussing that where this merge conflict can happen, right? And as a note of that, how a good developer will have to make sure that we do a lot of pulls and pushes regularly. Now, why is that so? Because you all know we do not have a habit of saving things. When we start editing any note file, notepad, we start from line 1, we reach line 100, but we might have not saved that file, right? Because we believe कि ठीक है computer बंद नहीं होगा, electricity नहीं जाएगी, it won't crash. And when it does, we lose data, right? If we have not saved it. So similarly, if you have taken, you have created a new branch and you have worked on it, you're assuming that everything is same on the server till now, right? But in real life, when we are working in some MNCs or working on a big project with multiple developers, there might be chances that the repository is updated, right? So it is always recommended you keep your code updated with pull. Every morning start with a pull, right? And ask all your developers before merging, right? So once that is done, I think you now know how to handle merge conflicts. Either what you can do is you can either delete file 1 um, from the git add or from the staging area, and then you can just go ahead and add file 2 that will be merged, and then come back later and look at file 1. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's done. With that being said, we will move ahead. We have questions. Yesterday we had some questions. Let us also not forget the questions which came up yesterday and we couldn't solve them. Which were, someone was asking that how can we rename a branch, right? So it is not at all difficult. See, what I will tell you is that even the Einstein mentioned one quote, right? That why do you want to mug things up? Why to remember we can when you can always refer? And I abide by that principle so strong that, trust me, be it computer science, be it chemistry, be it biology or anything, I will never learn the kingdom animalia, I'll never learn the periodic table, nor I will mug up the commands, right? So do not worry, students, if you cannot exactly remember the commands as it is, that's not your job, right? You are supposed to learn the technology. You're supposed to know that something like this exists. Only then you can Google search and find the command, right? Suppose if I do not know that branching is a concept in Git, I can never Google branching in Git, right? So that's knowledge that you all should gain out of such sessions that you attend, right? So I'll just come back and I'll explain you how it can be done. It is a very simple thing. If you have to rename a branch, you just have to do git branch, just add dash m before it. Whatever is the old name, you write over here, followed by the new name. Okay. And for all the people who might be curious that sir promised to give us notes and like where it is, I think I have already attached that, and the admins will make sure that you find notes today. I've shared a Google Drive URL. You can just access it and it will be visible to all of you. So I'll do not worry, do not spam the inbox for now. If no one has not found the URL, do not worry, you will get it by the end of the day. Somewhere you will get it in the session. Okay. So let's all be little smart. Do not just spam the inbox, right? Yeah, it is available in your description. That's thank you so much, Karthik, for the assistance. You are a big savior. All right, so moving ahead, now we understand what is stashing and things like that, right? So That's, I think, more than enough that you should know. And I'll also try to explain you a little bit about rebase. What is the theory of rebase? Rebase का मतलब क्या होता है? So for example, suppose we have a working tree. Working tree का मतलब क्या होता है? Say day one we start with a repos, say master branch, ठीक है? So tomorrow we split up into three different branch, which is say dev one branch, a dev 2 branch, and a dev 3 branch. In between we have uh, what do you call it, dev main, and then we have production branch, things like that. Let us call it, there are different branches. Each branch can have its own pulls, right? Like there could be cloning of the branches in itself. All this circles that I'm drawing, these are commits, these are different commits, right? There could be many commits. There is one more branch that has split up, one more branch that has split up, and more commits coming in, right? One branch split up, again commit. So all branches will have their own commits, right? And trust me, like there are so many commits and so many things that the tree becomes diverse. It becomes so diverse and complicated, and you can say complicated in a way that rebase can help you merge the commits of different branches, making your tree more linear. When we say more linear, so for example, यहाँ पर देख लो, if I have to merge these two branches, then इसका output would be something like this, ठीक है? It will be 1 2 3 4. These both commits will be merged into one. This commits will be merged into one. This commits will be merged into one. This commits will be merged into one. And if there is some other commit, it will be there. So rebasing means merging the commits and reducing the you can say flat spread of the branch, making it more linear, more compressed. So for now, that's more than enough. We will keep it like that, and not at all a big deal. The notes cover everything, so do not worry. Whatever is being taught here is being given to you even in the notes, and notes are much more elaborated. Notes contain much more than what I am teaching. When I say when I'm teaching, it doesn't mean that it contains more information. It contains a little bit more better language and more examples, so do not worry. Whatever I've taught will be very useful from the notes to revise. Okay, so moving ahead, then we have one more concept that we can think about or talk about. But before moving there, let me just check that we are going good with the syllabus. Right, now we need to look into the remote repositories. Before moving there, I'll just cover one more you can say important or good to know thing about Git. So there is a thing known as mind the words. It is fork. Okay, remember, or is important, it becomes fork. So fork is something that is used rather than clone, right? I'll explain you the difference between clone and fork both, right? So once you have idea of clone, can anyone in the chats tell us what is the meaning of clone? And then I'll explain you what is the meaning of fork. Okay, it is not that it is not exactly the you can say noodle spoon or however you call it. I think that's the, I do not know the Hindi version of fork for now. If anyone can also, for fun fact, let me know what is fork known as in Hindi. It would be really interesting to know. So with that being said, so it doesn't mean the spoon thing that you use. It is just the fork. Uh, Forking would mean that you are creating a copy version of the repository, right? All right, yes. So Swapnil has it there, Karthik has it there, and Rohan also has it correct. That forking means creating an exact replica of the repository. But why to do it? What is the benefit? Why and where it is needed, right? So suppose that, yeah. So Bishal says that in his language it is known as chimta, the fork. Okay. So interesting. Next time when I order Maggie, I'll make sure to say कि भाई मेरे को चिमटा भी देना साथ में, right? That will be interesting. All right. So with that being said, we will move forward. So suppose this is one repository that we have right over here, right? It contains its own files and versions into it. So right. All right. So someone is mentioning using our ID, same thing with our ID or our name. Uh, okay. Not sure where the chat is going. Okay. Let's move ahead. And so what the idea is that suppose there is developer one, developer 2, they have the access to this repository. When I say access, it means they can clone the repository on their local, they can edit the files, they can do pulls, they can do push, okay, and that's there. So they always have the access to it. Like for example, I'll tell you that I've worked as a fresher, I've also worked in many small scale industries, and surprisingly, even today if I open up my Git, I still have access to their Git repositories, which I should not. It is a security breach, security leak, okay. So do not worry, I've called the companies and told them that I still have access to your codes. Please take it away from me. But the idea is that what happens is that suppose developer one, developer two have say access to this project. Okay, let us call it our project. Say project X. Okay, all right. Did I lose network? Is it? No, probably. What is the battery status of my laptop? Fine. Uh, just give me a minute, students. Quickly, I need to just check my charger. I'll be just taking not more than a minute. Just bear with me. Okay. It feels like I'm on mission impossible to conduct this lecture series for these 3 days, and I somehow made sure that the charger will not fail, and it won't. Just give me a minute, students. All right. Okay, something better than nothing. Just a minute more. Okay. Things look fine. Fine now. The laptop is still charging. It reads 10%, but it is on plugged in. Great. Okay. So moving ahead, suppose now that we there are two developers who are working on a project. Okay, and what will happen here is that we have another developer who wants to develop the same thing, but it is a new project in itself. What could be examples of this? So let us say that we made one project which is known as chatbot for a zoo, okay, or let us say chatbot for uh, terrestrial animals. We created a chatbot like that. So what does this mean is we created a chatbot like this is that we have created one software that can work along with the animals good enough, right? So tomorrow our same company, they want to start a new project, and what would the new project do for now is that this new project will work on the birds, okay, birds zoo. So if you just look at the concept of these two things, a bird zoo and an animal zoo, they both should have almost similar features, right? Almost similar features. So the idea is that rather than starting from ground zero, they can clone our zoo project, right? So in order to clone the zoo project, uh, it is as equivalent as giving them the access to our zoo project, right? Which we do not want in any way, because zoo project is being developed in parallelly in a different ecosystem, right? So what we will do is we will just give them a fork. What would fork do here is fork would simply say that you need not worry about that from where is this pull and push coming in, because they will have completely separate code. It's like creating a new repository in itself, and the new repository has nothing to do with the old repository, right? So all right, uh, just give me a minute, students. I'll have to switch my laptop. I'll just quickly connect with the admin team and join in from my other laptop. Actually, I am already joined in. Just give me a minute here, student. Okay, I'll just go here. All right, I'll just shut this version down. All right, just give me a minute. Let me just quickly also do that. Yeah, for now I can see the YouTube in the other laptop for 10% left. Okay, all good, sir, right? Yeah, fine. Fair enough. So when we're talking about forking, let us go to the forking. I'll use my bare hands to draw now. Okay. So for forking, suppose we have dev 3 and we have forked one project for him. Okay. So let us fork this project. And what this would mean is that they have all the files that were there initially in our project. Okay. So these files they have. Now, after they fork, suppose they forked this file on 2023. Okay, 2023 go, they forked this file and they started their own development. They are doing their own commits. Okay, they are doing their own changes and things like that. But suppose we are also parallelly developing. Developer 1 developer 2 has also developed a lot of things. So whatever things that developer 1 and 2 have developed, they will never be visible to developer 3. Because developer 3 took a fork, whatever was forked, it has that copy. Whatever developer 3 is copying, cloning, doing changes, it is only available to developer 3. In fact, developer 1 or 2 भी नहीं जा सकते. They cannot go to the forked branch and take pull and push because they will not have permission, right? So that is the benefit of forking, right? And many companies have used forking, right? So forking has been used for, you can say, by companies like Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a forked project, right, from Debian. Then we have MariaDB. MariaDB is a forked project from MySQL. So MySQL was the base on which MariaDB is made. Debian was the base on which Ubuntu is. And there are many more. Like OpenOffice is one software that provides you with the editing services, right? And why it's not clear? Okay, just a second. Just quickly plug in my laptop. Okay, how about now? Is voice any better here? Okay, let me check if I'm still connected to. Yes. Voice is breaking. Is my voice clear now? Is my voice any better now? Let us check. One, two, three. Voice check. Voice is slightly breaking. Audio not clear. Two, three. Check of the audio. Can I get some latest update upon my voice? Clear. Good. All right. Perfect. Much clear. Okay. Fine. Never mind, that breaking will go away quickly. Network problem temporarily. Okay. So with that being said, that's about how forking works. Now that we are all said and done, let me just share my entire screen. So I'll ask the admin team to just make sure that my entire screen gets visible now. I'll stop sharing and I'll present my entire screen. Share screen, share screen, and share entire screen. So my entire screen is visible now, guys. No issues till this point. So we have covered almost all the syllabus of Git, but now we will look at GitHub. We will look at the how the remote repositories work, how we can clone them, how we can push to the remote repositories. Okay, and forking is done. I'll tell you some good practices about the commits also, right? So that should cover the entire syllabus. Only the last module is left. All right. Okay. So my entire screen is being visible now, right? All right. Perfect. Okay. So with that being said, let me also just quickly walk you through the notes that I've created for you. So this is the file that you will get, but I'll just walk you through this file. Okay. This browser cannot be able to open it. Let me just copy this. Copy link. Let me check if there is any other browser available. Edge, and let me check if yeah, Edge is available, right? Let me check if Chrome is available. Google Chrome, yeah, that's available. So let me just open this thing for you. And all right, here we enter. This link is open to all as viewer. You all can look into it. So idea is that this is a quick syllabus glance initially. This is how the notes will start with all the commands written right over here, right? You can do the commands always get into it. We have seen how to delete branch, hidden branch, undo changes in the stashing area, revert or reset hard are the things that can help you. get out of stashing area, or you can just git stash, right, or rebase. These things are done. Remote repository, we are looking into it now, right? And introduction to GitHub, of course, with the introduction to GitHub, we will go here. But I have explained you what does it mean to fork a repository. And you can do normal pull, push, everything works similar in the fork repository. Only thing is that you will have to first configure fork, right? So to configure a fork, this is the command that you will always use. To sync up with the fork, git fetch upstream. That's it. Nothing else. And then the notes will start. You'll have all the notes like introduction to Git. You can go there. Git's distributed nature, comparison, setting up Git, how to install Git. Like I might have to install Git on this system. Just try to do that. I'll just go over here, download for Windows, and click here to download. And downloads will start. Coming back to our notes. Okay, I'll save. Let me also just join in from my laptop. Sorry, I'll open up the YouTube live. Mobile seem to have your chat coming in quickly. So, hmm. Like as a developer, you always have to be prepared for all the things that can go wrong. So, as you can see in the live session, my aim of making my laptop stay alive has gone down, but still I have recovered with two things. Just commented. Coming back, yes, I have chats open with me. Let me place chats somewhere that I can access. All right, fair enough. Right, okay. All right. So meanwhile, even Git is downloaded here. Let me just open up. I'll just open up the download right over here. Install the Git. It is a revision for all of us that now we can install Git. Right. I just have to use the standalone installer. It will come up for me. I'll do next. I'll do next. I'll do next. 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 Multiple next. Infinite amount of next. Never ending amount of next, right? Once that is done, Git installation will start. All right. With that being said, let us just quickly jump back to the note section. So once that is done, you will have Git basics. I'll give you the basic common commands, which are also mentioned above, but they are explained here. You can use them. Branching it, Git is explained over here. Reasons for branching, benefits, everything is mentioned here. How merge conflicts occur, I've explained you. You can go through it. You can try to even modify and learn things from here, test them. Tips for I've already given you tips. Pull before pushing. That's the most important tip. If you always pull before push, you will not face merge conflicts as a good developer, right? So small and frequent commits are more better. See, so let us talk about this idea because anyways we were going to talk about it. That how can we make sure that our commits are good enough? See, writing a commit like गौरव ने commit किया on 3rd March, and Gaurav's company quit कर गया within a year, and now a new developer has come up. He will be fed up to look at those commits. Like Gaurav ने commit किया 3rd March को. Like what does it mean? What is the meaning of it, right? It is senseless and meaningless commits that we make, right? Our commits should be more professional, sincere, and practical in a way that anyone reading it should understand why you committed it, right? Suppose you're developing a feature and you have fixed a bug, you have written some piece of the part of the code that should be there. So that should be very clear and precise in your commit. For example, if I created a feature to extract address from say any input text, I'll say uh, address extractor feature committed, right? Or things like that. You can write anything, but it should must make sense, right? So that's there. I'll make smaller commits like uh, added of I'll first create a layout of the function, right? I'll add a skeletal function. So I'll mention that the base skeleton of address extractor added. Then I'll say uh, prototype of address extractor added. Then I'll say modified added extractor to have these lines. In fact, your commits can have much more descriptions into it, right? You can add further descriptions by going to the GitHub. I'll show you how that can be done. So
Those are some good practices of doing it. Yesterday, I also explained you different strategies of using the merging strategy, right? One is the split the master branch into prod and development, right? Development branch may you do all the testing development, things look good, production may merge further. Other strategy is that you use feature-wise branching. So feature-wise branching is also really good. You have a project that contains 20, 30, 40 different features. Create 20, 30, 40 different branches. Create each feature in each branch, and once it is done, you can delete the branch. So that are some good practices mentioned over here. Git clone versus fork theory explained over here, right? Then CI/CD, I'll explain a little bit about it, and then rebase branch, everything is covered, right? So these notes are available. As someone mentioned, you can just quickly check the descriptions for the notes. Let me also just quickly check the descriptions for the notes. Full link, all one document, and somewhere it must be visible, or I'll tell the admin to make sure that the notes are available to you. This link should be available to all of you, right? Do not worry about it. So I'll just go back in the live chat. Live chat, here it is. Let me check what is happening in the chat for a while. Okay, I'll just write one message that will be visible to you. All right, perfect. So, with that being said, let us just proceed back. And I'm still not able to receive. I got the message. Okay. All right. You guys can find that in all in one document. Okay. It's all in one document. That's there. You will find the reference. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Nothing much coming up in the chat. So we will proceed with it. Now let us understand what is GitHub or GitLab. So now that you have an idea that it is supposed to be a software in itself, and different companies try to bring this software and sell it to us, right? So GitHub is one company, GitLab is another company, and the difference between them is so negligible that if someone knows how to use Microsoft Word, they also know how to use Google Docs, right? Almost the interface, the features, the placing of the features, and the way to use it is a replica of each other, right? So similarly, GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab, they are all like different market players providing you Git, right? So we will go to GitHub, and trust me, I have used both triple, all of these service providers. There is no difference. If you know GitHub, you know GitLab. Do not worry about it. We'll just go over here. We will try to sign up first. Okay. I'll try to sign up with a dummy account. Let me try to create a dummy account first. Okay. I'll try to sign in. It will ask me for my username and password. I'll have to first create an account. I'll go to create an account. Okay. And enter your email ID. Okay. So I'll use my mother's account. Okay. Just gmail.com. I'll click on continue. I'll have to create a password. Let me create a password. Needs number and lowercase. Okay. Uh, Password may be compromised. Okay. I have just kept a very simple password. No worries. I'm not going to use this Git profile for some important task. But probably it won't allow me, right? Is it? Okay. Let me use. Fine enough. Continue. I'll type a username. So, what could be the username? I'll just take one username, which I find interesting in the chat box. We have Swapnil, Gaurav, and I'll go with Mikey Studios. Mikey, but then if Mike is trying to make it, I'm sure Mikey Studio is the okay. Uh, Let me not try to make it. Just keep it dummy user one. You can obviously name whatever name you have to do. Dumb user one is not available. Someone has already taken this name. So dumb user 24 is also not available. I'll just go for let's upgrade 2014 is available. 24 is available. I'll go with it. I do not want to receive occasional product updates. That's fine. I'll just continue verifying your account. Welcome to GitHub. The journey is beginning. Okay, protecting your account. Please solve this puzzle as we know you're a real person. Okay, let's verify that. Use the arrows to rotate the object to face in the direction of the hand. Uh, okay, interesting. Please do that. I'll just submit it. Done. Anything else? No, it feels like I'm entering some next level government security. So we are setting the launch code to just be real. Let us just quickly verify that if we are acceptable. Big box email. So load. Let's say okay. I might not remember the password for this. Luckily, this laptop uses a silicon. Yep, we have GitHub sign-in credentials. I'll just copy them, take it back to the code, and paste it. Perfect. We have finally logged in into the GitHub, and it makes the login process so grand that you are coming to something extraordinary. I'm pretty sure GitHub has now a dark theme, and if I can just quickly start. So, let me just quickly introduce you to the GitHub's page. What does it mean? So, you can see on the top left there is dashboard which is mentioned over there, right? So dashboard is like your home, right? It's like your home. There's a wall in between, like some interesting feeds in between. Right side there are some updates. Left, bottom left, once you're filled in you will have all your repositories over here, right? Unfortunately my main laptop died, so I would have logged in through my account. I would have shown you so many repositories that I had. But good part is that as a fresher, now you will be able to see how freshers log in with the GitHub, right? So we have, you can say, a new dashboard in front of us. It simply shows us the options to create a repository or to import a repository, right? So I'll explain in both these two terms what do they mean. So import a repository would mean that if you remember on day one we started, we created our own repositories, right? Those were created local. They were not created using any software like GitHub or GitLab. Those were available in our local storage. So now, if you feel that now you want to get online and come to the GitHub, you can import repositories from there. Not only that, if you were earlier using GitLab, you were on Bitbucket or you were using some other Git service provider, and now you want to shift to GitHub, you can also onboard the repositories from that platform. You can just bring it on to the GitHub. So that's the import repository tab what it can do for you. Right? If you click on import repositories, your old repositories URLs can be used, okay, and you can just simply bring them over here, right? So with that being said, left green button, create repository. It is not GUI version of Git, right? You do not have to write things like terminal open kiya usme git init kiya. These things are managed on the server with the help of Git, right? So we will talk about those features later on, but let us first try to see that the most important thing, which is this three flat vertical lines, very adjacent to the dashboard, right? If you click over there, it gives us the different pages of this website, right? Home page, issue page, pull request, discussions, and things like that, right? Let me close it. On the right side, there's a search bar where we can search different things, right? Even if I search for calculator, calculator, and a search on GitLab, it will try to search all the open repositories and closed repositories which contain calculator code. So if you see, on the left there are filters like it has to be a code, it has to be a repository, it has to be an issue. Where do you want to find? I want to find it in repositories. That's where I am. You can see the very first result is, of course, the most popular one. Microsoft has a GitHub repository by the name of Calculator, and it is a Windows calculator, simple yet powerful calculator that fits with Windows by default. If I click on it, they'll provide me all their repository, and you can see left में there are file names, folder names, .config, .github, tools, build, docs, right? These things these all things. And in center of the column, in the second column, there is git commit details, right? So you can see how good commits are written. Engineer migrate pipelines to one ESPT, something related to them, of course. Onboarding GitOps resource management, secondary formatting changes. If you click on that hashtag 2080, it will take you to the more details about that commit. Okay. So what is this commit about? It is for the request of 1ES, we require to onboard 1ES pipeline template on October 31st. Quite informative. What are the changes? Updated the CI and release pipeline with this. These are the commits, okay? And these are the things, the commit history that you can see from this particular uh, error code, right? So for different, you can say things, you will find probably commit names like this. And in the third column is the date when it was updated. So this was updated 6 months ago. There's a very recent update which has come up just 5 days ago, right? And that is right over here. If you see, uh, source has been updated. Updated localized strings. Let us try to see what is into it, right? What this commit is all about. Since it was updated just 5 days ago, and you can see it will show you that something in the red is something that is no more available. Like this was changed, and what it was changed with will show you in green. So the red line was changed with the green line, right? And this red line was deleted with the replacement of this green line, right? And it will show you all the changes which have happened in the left side within all the files. Okay, so this is about commits, how you can see it in the GitHub. But now let us go back. Let us see how the search thing works. We'll go back to our page. Okay, let us just go there. Back to basics. We are on our homepage. We understand how the homepage looks like. We understand the dashboard. Okay, left with the repositories, the feed coming in, right, or right in between, and search tab and things like that. Okay. In the extreme right now, in the extreme right, you will find your profile. There's a circle with that green dots into it. If I click on it, that's me. Let's 24 is my profile name. Okay, I can just click on my profile by clicking on your profile. I can swap my profile picture. I can take it whatever I want. I can edit it from local. Your name appear around Git. Okay, you can remove it anytime. I can in fact change my username once in a while and do a lot of stuff. Okay, add a lot of things about me. My bio. AI developer and I'm an enthusiast in this field. I also do a lot of things related to backend. So something like that you can mention your pronouns, your other websites. If you have a website, you can paste the URL. It's like a resume, right? So which is why it is very important as a developer that we also maintain our GitHub as a resume because it will showcase the codes that we write. So with that being said, I'll again go back to the dashboard. Now you know how to work on it. All right. All right. Let's go back to the dashboard. Now we will try to create a repository. In order to create a repository, you can use this create repository button right on the green button. I'll be very slow students in this process. There is this green button right over here. Where is my cursor? See this green button right over here. I'll just click on it. So once I click on it, this is how I create a new repository. Okay, all right. So with that being said, let us try to find the repository name that I want to keep. So repository names are mostly the project names. Like if I want to create calculators, I'll just do let's upgrade calculator as a repository name. Basically, it's the name of my project. Like if I want to tomorrow create Netflix, so I will create a repository by the name of Netflix, right? And all right, once the name is set, we can now add description. This is optional. You do not have to bother about it. Simply, you can skip it, but I'll add. This is a demo repo to teach students how to create a repo on remote. Okay. So with this being said, next is you choose public or private. Mostly, if you are planning to create this repository to earn money out of it, you are a business. You want to create a project that is personal and private. It is not available to the public, right? It is your private project. You'll 100% make sure it is private. If you are making something which you want to maybe use as a resume, you are making something which you want to give to the community, you'll keep it public so that anyone can clone that repository. No one will be stopped, anyone will be able to clone the repository. Private, you will decide who can access the code, right? That's there. Now, next option is initialize this repository with a add a README file. So what does that mean is that uh, see, whenever we purchase any product, whenever we purchase any tool, kit, device, we get a manual with it, right? See, we even if you purchase something as dumb as a mobile phones still provide a manual with it, right, in the box. Why do we need that? We all know how it works. Still, it is a good habit, and when coming from something not as common as a mobile phone, coming to something which is like a product in itself, manuals are useful. README is useful. So README will ideally have all the details about the product. Okay. So let me just try to show you one repository with the README and speech to text uh, repo. Something like that. And yep. You see GitHub pay NVIDIA has created one repository. And as I scroll down, this is the README. You see this README right over here. This README has a lot of things. In fact, this README has been beautifully decorated with color contrast like black, green, caps lock, bulleting, numbering, link highlighting. We can also keep our README just plain text, but this is how it works. Repo status is active. These things are there. Latest news should be there in the README. So, introduction. This is most important. That what exactly is repo all about? So, NVIDIA framework is a generative AI framework built for researchers and Python developers working with large language models, multi-models, ASR, and text-to-speech and things like that. Right? Uh, Details about it, right? Key features, requirements, installation. How can you use this repository? You can either use it as a Docker or a pip or a Conda environment. For Conda environment, these are the details. For pip, these are the details, domain specific, and all the installation. How you can install it for Apple Silicon chips, M series upon Apple devices. How you can install there. Windows laptop, how you can install there, right? Uh, all details are mentioned over here, right? If you have to use class attention, you will have to do this process. Uh, then examples, you can see the example folders. Uh, if it is a hyperlink, it will take me to the repository with all the tasks and everything. You see, it is very well maintained. So the next thing is if you also want to maintain the repository, which mostly when we are working as IT developer for some companies, we won't bother much about README because we will create a very bare basic README just to cover up the you can say knowledge transfer. What does knowledge transfer mean is that once you're done with the project, you will have to explain the project in a doc file or a text file that how to run this code. So that knowledge is written in the README and you can add it. Next is really interesting how to create a git ignore folder. I'll talk about this now. See, for an example, I am creating a Git project that involves a lot of photo video editing, right? Suppose I'll take some input video and the output is also video, right? Now, I push this code with the video content also. Suppose the video file are of 10 GB, 5 GB. So my repository weight is very heavy. My repository is weighing 15-20 GB, whereas code is only few KBs only. Python file hai 2 4 and 2 3 text files. There are only some MB or a KB or a few MBs. Other is this video data that I ideally should not, right? Because my code is supposed to be generic. सपोज आई एम क्रिएटिंग सम फिल्टर, एक ऐसी ऐप बना रहा हूँ जिसमें आई टेक इनपुट वीडियोस, आई ऐड सम फिल्टर्स ऑन देम, तो आउटपुट आपको फिल्टर्ड वीडियो मिल जाए. But for this, my code is generic. Now it can work on anybody. So why do I have to also upload these videos? So which is where we can use a file just like .git folder है ना. There will be a file name as .gitignore. Uh, People who are wondering how to create it, you can just simply create it using a nano command or rightly create new file. VS Code में rightly करके new file बना लो .ignore की. It is just like a normal text file. उसमें you can add the names of the folders and the files you want to ignore. So you can add videos folders में लिख दो the path of the video folder right there, and it will whenever you are pulling, pushing, putting the code on the remote, it will make sure कि git ignore में जो ignore वाले folder files है ना वो push ना हो. So your videos will not be pushed. Other example is when we work with a project, we need to install some virtual environments. Virtual environments can take up a lot of things like different modules, different libraries, and we don't want to make our Git pull or Git push heavy. So we will make sure everything is in the Git ignore and these virtual environments stay in the local folder only. Other examples, there will be many examples that we do not want to push heavy files, put it in the Git ignore. Okay, there are some passwords, there are some files that contain some local things that only are needed for your laptop. Put it in the Git ignore. That's not related to the push, so let's not put it in the push. Right? Then comes the licensing part. What is the deal with licensing? So suppose if I know that I'm going to create some public server, general public license, MIT license, Berkeley distribution license, BSD, Berkeley Standard distribution, GNU. There's some open licenses. If I'm compliant with that, if I'm in some Apache licensing, so I'll just say that my code is Apache license, want to compliant, and all the people who want to use will use it in the Apache license. So these are some different licensing versions, right? When you see you get some content for free, they have to be circulated through a licensing, right? For now, if you are not bothered about it, mostly will not be these are licensing done. There is no licensing that you need, and you can just finally click on create repository. Once that is done, there we are, and this is our main repository. Now let us go back to the dashboard. Okay, now let us go back to the dashboard. Here we are. Now you see your left hand side has changed a little bit. What does it mean by that? वो new repository पहले बड़े में लिख के आ रहा था ना, new repository in a big block is now shifted to just this new green button over there, and now you have a list coming in. फिलहाल तो एक ही repository है, but ठीक है, there will be many coming in, right? And once you have a lot of repositories, top 10, top 15 will only be visible. Others you can search using this search button right over here. Find a repository, you can search over there, like LU calculator. Search, it will search and give me the results right over here. So let me click on this repository. Okay. Now this is the page where the repository is available on the GitHub. Okay. And on the GitHub, if you see, all my files will be available in this box right over here. एक बार वापस NVIDIA का खोल लेते हैं repository. GitHub. Let me just do Control H. नहीं 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 Control H. NVIDIA rep. Right over. So you see, this box contains folders, files, everything. ये तो scroll हो रहा है क्योंकि इसमें काफी files and folders है. In our case, there is just one README. वही पड़ी है और README यहाँ नीचे दिख भी रही है. This is a demo repo. How to use repo. Okay. You can edit this README online. ये GUI के अंदर भी edit कर सकते हो. But you can take this code offline also. ठीक है. Let me try to take this code offline. Offline लेने का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of taking a code offline? It simply means that we will be cloning this. Now, in order to clone this repository, there is this green button over here which says code. इस पे क्लिक करते हैं. Let us go to HTTPS and यहाँ पर copy to clipboard आ रहा है. I'll copy to clipboard right over here. Okay. Now once this is done, I'll open up a folder जहाँ पर मुझे से clone लेना है. A place where I want to copy this repository. I'll go to this PC. I'll go to C drive. I'll go to users, public, or I'll go to this user. documents. I'll create a file by the name of git demo. Enter there, right click, show more properties, git bash. Open this thing up and I'll do git clone and paste. So right click, paste work with shift and turn, insert. So git clone this repository. H has come up 2 times. I have to clear that. Git clone the repository link. This is the command. If I hit enter, we'll be able to see that the repository has been cloned. So this is how we take things from server to local. Sign into your browser once, okay, in order to authenticate. I'll just click on it. I'll authorize Git ecosystem access. Authentication succeeded. The clone should have succeeded. Yep, cloning the repository, theoretically done. Done, 100% done. Okay. I'll do git status over here then. So git status. Okay, it's not a git repository, and you know already know the reason for that because git repository is inside a git folder, uh, right? And we are not over there. Okay. So let me just try to maximize it a little bit and also try to increase the font for you guys. So I'll do cd lu calculator, which means I'll move into that folder. Now once I'm over there, I'll do git status. So I'm on the main branch. Your branch is up to date with the origin main. Origin main means the remote server. Okay, and everything is fine over there. Now let me go into this branch and let me try to create one new code file over here. I click new. Uh, Say it is a code file. Okay, calculator. Okay, and I'll open it. I'll define some functions. Define, say, let me try to add it. Define addition. Okay, let's take numbers and I try to write something for num in numbers, which means that I'll take a number in numbers are there. I'll take output. I'll try to write some dummy code. ठीक है एकदम dummy code लिख रहा हूँ जिनको programming नहीं आती है. Do not worry about it. Nothing big deal. Put, in fact, like even my code might not even work. एकदम dummy लिख रहा हूँ. Is added with them. And then we will say return output. Okay, and we will define if okay, we'll just keep it run code. Okay, run code part यहाँ पर uh, number is equals to take input number from front end. ठीक है, choice is equals to take operation to be performed from front end. Okay, if choice is equals to addition, so we will return addition function with the नंबर्स वैल्यूज के साथ. ठीक है, तो ये आपको एडिशन दे देगा. कुछ भी रफ सा रैंडम सा मैंने कोड लिखने की ट्राई की है. एंड सपोज मैं एज अ डेवलपर मैंने इसको टेस्ट कर लिया. आई टेस्टेड इट, आई हैव प्लेड अराउंड विद इट एंड आई फील प्रीटी कॉन्फिडेंट कि ठीक है, दिस लुक्स गुड, दिस इज फाइन. It does make sense that we can run it correctly, right? So then I'll just save it. Okay, I'll save my file and then I'll go back to the git bash. Why there are two git bashes? Okay, this is the setup file. All right. So once we're done with it, we will go back. We will just do clear and do git status. So you're on the main branch. Your branch is up to date with the origin main. There is one untracked file known as calculator.txt. What do you want to do with it? By now you're all pretty confident with the git. You have already done it. अजीब नहीं लगेंगे. Git ऐड करना है. डॉट लगा रहा हूँ. Okay, I'm a lazy person. मेरे को calculator नहीं लिखना है. And I'll just do git status again. You're on the main branch. Your branch is up to date with your main changes to be committed on this thing. So let me do git commit dash m, adding the you can say uh, addition feature created successfully. Okay, something like that. कर दूंगा. ओके, प्लीज टेल मी हु यू आर, व्हिच मींस हमने यहाँ पर अभी गिट कॉन्फ़िग नहीं की है. ठीक है. सो आई विल हैव टू डू द गिट कॉन्फ़िग. ओके, सो गिट config dash global user dot email equals to justbl@gmail.com, and your name git config dash dash global user dot name. I usually like to keep it whatever is there on the uh, GitHub profile. So where is that GitHub profile now? Right over here, right? And the username is LetsUpgrade 24. Okay, let us take that. So I'll add shift insert. Okay, no smart. I don't want that. Right, paste. LetsUpgrade 24 is the username. And now if I try to do the commit, git commit. Before that, let me clear the terminal for you. So git commit. You see now the commit is successful because now git recognizes who is committing, right? So once this commit has been done, things are pretty straightforward then. Now we will just check our browser. एक बार आपको browser दिखा देता हूँ. Okay, let's see running good, right? Okay, no comments coming in. Okay, okay, live chat. Let me switch to live chat. All right. Okay, things are working fine over here, right? My network is also fine. Yes, all things are good. Okay, let us just quickly go back and yeah, check our you can say the repository, the remote repository. You see, still the last thing was 10 minutes ago. This repository was created. No other commit has come up. Initial commit to by default, that is by default. It is always there when you create a README. Okay, your repository is 10-minute old. That's it. So now, in order to push to the remote, the command is git push, and when I hit that, you will see that it is hitting to the remote server, right? And sometimes when you see git push will not work, so git push remote origin, you'll have to use this command, okay, in order to make sure that you are hitting on the correct branch where you want to hit. So ideally, git push remote and the branch name. This is how you can make sure that you are pushing things on the correct branch. Suppose dev1 पे push करना है, so git push remote dev1, okay. So git remote dash v or git push will work. So it will by default work on local main, but if you have to push it on somewhere else, you can just use this command mentioned over here, right? Origin my feature. You see, this is how you write origin branch name. Okay. So with this being said, you will simply be able to see that now that I have successfully pushed things. तो यहाँ पे क्या लिख के आ रहा है? HTTPS let's upgrade ये वाली git पे uh, there has been a commit made and things should reflect on the server. Let me just refresh my browser and you will see now calculator यहाँ पे आ गया. किसने बनाया? जिसने भी बनाया उसने पुश करके आपको यहाँ पे दे दिया है. This is available right over here. Addition feature created successfully. Let's click on it. And once you see, this is where you can write comments. तो अभी आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि धीरे धीरे like how commits are made and how they are elaborated more. यहाँ पर आप थोड़ी images, कुछ additional links, कुछ description, कुछ data देना ना, और मतलब एक single line के अलावा देखो commit तो यहाँ पे ऊपर दिख रही है, addition feature created successfully. You can write this addition feature only works for integers for now. Uh, the float update will be released next week. ऐसे भी कमेंट करके आप यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर सकते हो. Comment to this commit. Okay? And this is available. All right. So things like that you can like add more things, you can add more descriptions to your commit, and that's how you do it. Uh, Now let us say hypothetically मैं git.txt को ना थोड़ा सा ऑनलाइन मॉडिफाई कर देता हूँ. व्हाट डज इट मीन? अभी हम इमेजिन करेंगे, वी विल इमेजिन दैट सम अनदर डेवलपर इज आल्सो एडिटिंग दिस फाइल. एक बार मैं इसका प्रीव्यू लेने दूँ. ओके, लेट मी गो बैक. If you have to open the calculator.txt, it should contain the thing that I have written in here, right? Okay, let me just check. The page is loading up. I hope my internet is working fine, right? Or not? Okay. Edit this file. Edit in place. View. Okay, for some reasons it is not working like this. So what I will do is, देखो मान लो मैं इस फाइल को मैनुअली कहीं पर जाके एडिट करता हूँ, ठीक है. इस फाइल को राइट ओवर हियर. ओके ओके, वेट वेट, आई थिंक ये फाइल यहाँ सेव. लेट मी चेक दिस स्टेटस. ये फाइल पुश हो गई है. गेट स्टेटस. हाँ, ओके. Unfortunately, what happened is that मैंने text file open की. I opened the text file. I wrote that program, but I did not save the file. So my push only took the empty file. Now let me push it once again. Okay. Okay. Git add this modification. Git commit dash m, adding the code block missing in previous commit. Okay. Commit done. Git push. All done. Clear. Let's go to the browser. Reload. I'll go back, and you can see now the changes are available here, right? Of course, the file was empty, hence this editor was not showing us anything. Let us go to the repository. You can see again the commit is done. 15 just right now, right? We adding the block missing in the previous commit. This is the latest commit that we have done. Let me open the file. Let us hypothetically imagine कि एक और डेवलपर ने ना पुश दे दिया. उन्होंने पुश क्या दिया है? Def subtraction. ठीक है. It takes numbers. अभी के लिए what they have done is, like they have just written none. एक बस कोड स्ट्रक्चर बना के उन्होंने कमिट कर दिया चेंजेस को. एडिंग. अभी कमिट करो ना, तो देखो यहाँ से आप कमिट के अंदर डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन भी दे सकते हो. फॉर नाउ जस्ट एडिंग कोड ब्लॉक फॉर subtraction method. ओके. कमिट मैसेज क्या करना है? एडिंग subtraction method function. कमिटेड डायरेक्टली टू द मेन ब्रांच या न्यू ब्रांच बनानी है? अभी तो मेन ब्रांच में कमिट कर देते हो. डन. ठीक है. अभी अगर आप यहाँ पर देखो, इफ आई डू गिट स्टेटस हियर नाउ, हियर ऑन द मेन ब्रांच, योर ब्रांच इज अप टू डेट विद द ओरिजिन मेन वर्किंग ट्री इज क्लीन. ठीक है. तो अभी मैं यहाँ पर ट्राई करूंगा गिट पुल लेने. आई टेक गिट पुल, एंड इफ यू सी कैलकुलेटर के अंदर कुछ चीजें अपेंड हो गई अपने आप. व्हाट इज इट? इट इज समथिंग दैट किसी और डेवलपर ने पुश किया था, मेरे पे अब आ गया मेरे कोड में. देखो यहाँ पे सब्ट्रैक्शन बाय डिफॉल्ट आ गया. मैंने नहीं लिखा मेरे लोकल में, किसी ने नहीं लिखा, कोई जादू नहीं है. दिस इज हाउ गिट वर्क्स, राइट? Something was pushed on the server. Just by doing git pull, I was able to take it. अगर imagine मैं git pull नहीं करता and I had added some more things over here, and I would have tried to push it, मुझे merge conflict आ जाता. Let's try to see merge conflict once again, right? I'll just do edit and I'll do this will cause merge conflict. What does this mean is कि मैंने एक और commit कर दिया है. This file is different. Merge commit error tutorial. Merge commit error tutorial. Spellings बाद में देख लेंगे. Okay. Now let me do. Let me go to the file editor. Calculator खोलता हूँ. Add some logic here. Edit कर देता हूँ. Save. Save. Okay. I'll do git status. I have modified the calculator.txt. Git add dot git commit dash m, adding some block in subtraction module. Commit हो गया. Git push. I'm trying to do git push. Error. Failed to push to this repository. Updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you do not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing. Okay. If you want to integrate the remote repository changes, use git pull before pushing again. Okay. So that's how merge conflict happens. If I do git pull, see what will happen. Merge conflict error. Automatic merge failed. क्यों? क्योंकि अभी सर्वर पे ये जो the file which is available on the server, it has some lines over here, and your local has some lines over here. Sorry, where is it? Ah, you see, Git is trying to show you right over here under the head. This will cause merge conflict. This part is not getting merged correctly. I'll have to somehow work around it. I'll have to remove this part manually. Save. Now go back. Git pull. Fix them up in the working tree. Pulling is not possible because you have unmerged files. Okay. I will do git stash. Could not write index. Okay. So right. I'll have to just, what I'll do, I'll have to manually then remove this file rather than putting head where what is going wrong. I'll just have to simply remove this file and then do the merge, right? Manual merging will be the needed over here. So this is how, like I explained you, how you can end up having merge conflicts if you do not have a habit of pulling and pushing correctly. And then do not worry, they can still be resolved. You will just have to resolve this merge conflict. If you go back to my notes, okay, I just want to double check, double cross that this notes Chrome will not open it, right? Over here. Okay, merge conflicts right over here. Yeah, I have given you these notes correctly. Yep, step by step guide on how to remove it. You see, this is how we got the head and the branch, and we'll have to review it with the other branch, choose the desired changes, manually इसको करना पड़ेगा, remove the conflict once resolved, and then save and commit the changes. Yes, this is the process of doing it, and things right over there. Now, if we go back, let me just quickly go back to the syllabus glance. Students, we have finished looking into the version control. We have looked into setting up gate, basic git operations, merging, branching, deleting branches, renaming branches, undoing changes, ठीक है, git revert, commit दे दो कौन से commit वापस जाना चाहते हो, and resetting the previous commit, git reset hard, ठीक है, so let's even try that. Git reset dash hard and head is now on adding some block to subtraction module. यहाँ पर जाके ये commit के ऊपर git वापस चले गया है. Now if we do git pull, देखो now here you are simply able to still merge conflicts क्योंकि हमारा conflict अब तक ठीक से ठीक नहीं किया है, right? So but again If you want to go back to a branch, you can just simply go back to the previous commit. You can just simply go back using git commit, stashing, rebasing. These things have been taught to you. Remote repository, GitHub, exploring, understanding GitHub interface features, done. Creating new repositories, forking repositories. I've explained this part correctly, how it works, how we can do it. Writing good commit messages, बता दिए हैं. Introduction to CI/CD. Let us talk about it. Okay. So GitHub also provides us with some basic actions, which means that what is CI/CD? First of all, let's talk about it. CI/CD is continuous configuration and continuous delivery, or it can also mean continuous deployment. What does this mean? Is कि देखो, usually what we have to do is we have to make sure that whatever we are writing, whatever we are developing, if we are continuously committing it, right? Continuously pull push चलने चाहिए. That is continuous integration. That जो भी आपने pull push किया है, it should be integrated to the development server. डेवलपमेंट सर्वर से कंटिन्यूसली कुछ आप फंक्शंस लिख दो, आप कुछ एपीआई कॉल्स लिख दो, आप कुछ वेब हुक्स बना दो जिसके थ्रू इट शुड बी ऑटोमेटिकली डिप्लॉयड, राइट? यूजुअली 90% केसेस के अंदर पीपल विल नॉट ऑफर ऑटोमेटिक डिप्लॉयमेंट, क्योंकि ऑटोमेटिक डिप्लॉयमेंट में अगर आपके जो प्रैक्टिसेस हैं टू क्रिएट ऑटोमेटिक डिप्लॉयमेंट अगर वो सही नहीं है, तो आपका कोड फेल भी हो सकता है डिप्लॉयमेंट में. इसलिए यूजुअली द प्रैक्टिस विल बी टू फॉलो कंटिन्यूस डिलीवरी, व्हिच मीन्स कि आपने जो भी कोड लिखा है लोकल पे, वो इंटीग्रेट हो गया है और डिलीवर कर दिया गया है. टेस्टिंग होगी, वहाँ पे टेस्ट केसेस लिख दे रहे हैं. टेस्टिंग होने के बाद आप उसको डिप्लॉयमेंट पे लेके जाओगे, राइट? So that's the basic introduction. And if you want to read like in depth about it, let me just quickly take you over there. Okay, let me just quickly skip it down. Just go over here. Okay, and this is the best link that I feel you should look for when it comes to CI/CD tutorials, right? So CI/CD के अंदर you will be able to see like what is continuous integration and continuous delivery, which I explained you a little bit in short. You can always go ahead, try to put your head into it, understand it, and then there are also like different things that you can look into, like what are the benefits of it. Benefits, again, like boring theory. Why again and again repeat? It is a collaborative coding. It is automation, because that as you are developing, it is getting automated, right? There's always security, like of course Git provides end-to-end security. Client apps support है, like many like आपके clients Windows पे हैं, Mac पे हैं, OS और Linux पे हैं, wherever it is you can use it. प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के लिए काम आ सकती है. यू कैन क्रिएट सम डिफरेंट, बिग स्केल है, स्मॉल स्केल है, कैसे भी प्रोजेक्ट है, प्रायोरिटी है, आपको गैंट चार्ट बनाने हैं, आपको एक्टिविटी ट्रैक रखना है, वट एवर टू बी डन कैन बी डन ओवर हियर, ठीक है? प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट एक्टिविटीज आ गई तो टीम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हो सकती है. दिस सम एडवांटेजेस ऑफ सीआईसीडी, राइट? ऑफ कोर्स प्रोजेक्ट कंट्रोल सिस्टम पे है, बिल्ड्स आप को मिलते हैं, आपको पूरा एक्शन ट्रैक कर सकते हो आप, ठीक है? So then there are certain key components of water it, like you can create certain events, you can make some runners, like scripts होती हैं. What does this mean? स्क्रिप्ट का मतलब क्या होता है कि आप छोटे 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 ना कोड ब्लॉक लिख देते हो कि आप स्क्रिप्ट पे चलाओगे तो उसमें जो फंक्शन लिखा गया है ना, जो कोडिंग लिखी गई है, वो रन हो जाएगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर मेकिंग अ कोड जिसके अंदर यू हैव टू सेक्रेट अ कैलकुलेटर, ठीक है? तो यू विल जस्ट राइट सम स्मॉल स्क्रिप्ट्स टू टेस्ट केसेस के लिए, दैट 2 + 2 4 हो रहा है क्या, 10 + 10 20 हो रहा है क्या, देन 7.5 + 2.5 10 हो रहा है क्या. यू विल राइट सम टेस्ट केसेस एंड यू विल कन्वर्ट देम टू स्क्रिप्ट्स. कोई भी अपडेट आ रही है, यू विल रन डिफरेंट रनर, डिफरेंट स्क्रिप्ट्स रन होंगी, वर्कफ्लोज टेस्ट होंगे, एंड इफ एवरीथिंग वर्क्स गुड देन इट विल बी इंटीग्रेटेड. If the code is not failing, it is good enough to be integrated. So that's the basic of it. You can in fact like even try it out from this study links that are provided. Okay. With that being said, this covers the complete 3-day marathon of the basis of Git. And by the end of this tutorial, I believe that all of you are taking home something valuable with you. You will now have some idea that what is Git. If Git was an alien to you 3 days ago, now it is not, right? Let us just quickly fill in the comments. Come on, there are still 35 people bearing with me. And let us see what are your feedbacks, your reviews, or your doubts. Just push it in. Let me know how can we interact, and if there are any doubts that I can help you with tonight, it will be more than pleasure to do it. Okay. I'll just quickly stop the share over here. Okay, all right. So I am connected and waiting if there are any doubt, students. I It was really an amazing 3 day session. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for joining in. People like you always inspire people like us to teach. Thank you so much. The session was wonderful. Thank you so much, Sachin. Thank you so much, Mikey. In fact, like I enjoyed the session thoroughly teaching you. It was a mutual, wonderful session for all of us.